Hey there, rock stars, YourGuitarSage here, and today we are working on part 2 of singing and playing at the same time. If you haven't seen part 1, you're missing out on a lot, so go back and see that one before you watch this one. Okay, so we were talking about playing Hallelujah and singing at the same time, specifically, just to use an example here, okay? So we're saying, to kind of recap, strumming the chord on the downbeat of the syllable that we were going to sing, okay, and writing that out, okay. Also in that analogy, we talked about having specific things separated. So any hard task, this is on guitar or life or whatever it is, a report that's due in school, is to break it up into bite-sized pieces instead of just looking at the whole thing like some overwhelming whatever that you can't accomplish. Look at it as, okay, I'm just going to tackle this one part, then do this next part out. Tony Robbins calls this chunking, and I think it's a really clever technique. He didn't invent it, but it's a great technique, especially in music. Classical musicians do this too when they're learning a piece to memorize. Okay, so on to the next part here. If we're doing, say, finger picking for this next part, I'll have a lot of people that they'll want to do finger picking and singing something like this at the same time, but they'll come in not having the finger picking part down. Well, back to our analogy of the guy on the tightrope wire juggling and on a unicycle, you can't add another task without mastering one. You're never going to see more results. If I'm having a hard time picking, adding singing is just I'm just gonna fall apart. I'm not gonna know what to do, okay? So you're gonna have to work on these things separately, strumming, chords, whatever, until you feel really good about those things. So for instance, if I wanted to sing this, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? There's no way I'm going to be able to sing that if I haven't got the finger picking part down, or vice versa. There's no way I'm going to be able to finger pick that part if I haven't got the singing part down. So practicing those separately. Work on the finger picking part, then add the singing part. Okay, what else? The other thing is really just slowing these tunes down. That's going to help a lot, especially vocally. If there's a part with, say, like a run in it. What I mean by a run is like if you were to noodle a few notes, you know, that sort of thing vocally, then you're probably not going to do it very cleanly playing it fast if you can't do it cleanly playing it slow or singing it slow. Same thing is true when playing guitar. I'll have students that will try to play a passage very quickly. They'll go from playing it slow, sloppily, to trying to play it fast, cleanly. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that that's not going to happen. The only way to play something fast, cleanly, whether that's singing or playing, is to play it slow, cleanly. The problem with today is we want everything so quickly, we're not patient enough. But if you bear with me and you bear with yourself when you're practicing, and don't look at it as you have to be amazing or compare yourself to all these other people, you know, have to be amazing tomorrow, just have fun with the instrument and you will, you'll build speed naturally, the way it's supposed to be done, not forcing it. If you're forcing it, it's not going to happen nearly as quick as if you're just being natural with it. Okay, so it's really about your brain getting this stuff in a natural way. That's what makes things quick. Okay, typing, it's not how fast your fingers move, it's how accurately your fingers move. So you take the fastest guitar player in the world, yeah, in theory their fingers are going to move faster, but it's not going to be that much faster. What's happening is they're able to process the information a lot faster, so they're able to think ahead, whereas maybe a mediocre guitar may be thinking 4 notes ahead, a very fast guitar player may be thinking 20 notes ahead, and be able to see that in his mind's eye or in his imagination much further along than somebody who's not quite as schooled or doesn't have the experience. or the practice. Okay, so slowing these tunes down is gonna be huge, and it's gonna really help you with your vocal performance as well. So if I'm singing flat and I'm slowing this down, I'm going to be able to find out what note it is that's flat and be able to correct it slowly, then slowly speed up the song. Okay, hopefully that will help with your performances and playing and singing at the same time. So if I think of anything else, I'll put up another video, but for the most part, those are the techniques that I use to learn a tune, and it's helped me a bunch over the years. So if you haven't already, go to YourGuitarSage.com and get the ebook, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and keep practicing. See you soon.